Hey, I think we're live. Let me just make sure here. You guys are going to love what I got going on today. I'll share with you. Yeah. Hey, I think we're live. Yes. Hey, Sarah. Great to have you. I'm going to get things going here in just a second. Probably going to have to stop the Bruno Mars there. Okay, here we go. So from commodities to offers and how you can do it too. So when it comes to your practice, you have several things that you want to be able to offer to your patient, right? And what you want to be able to do when you are exchanging, saying, hey, I'll give you this service for this, right? In exchange for money, right? They're paying you. You want to not just look through your eyes, what you can give, but how they perceive it. Okay, so how they are receiving it. So what is their mindset? What is their belief system on what they are receiving? Okay, and when you have a product, so I got a phone here, right? So I got an iPhone. So whether you use iPhone or Android, this is a product. Okay, so in terms of a chiropractic clinic, you have a service. Let's use the example of a product first, and then I'm going to show you how you can turn your service into what we're going to do with my phone here in just a minute. Okay, so when there's a whole bunch of places that sell the same thing, that thing becomes what we call a commodity. Okay, so for example, gas. You got to put gas in your car, and you're driving down the road, and you see 3 gas stations, right? We're thinking of as a general rule, not the exceptions. I want to go by rules. So as a general rule, the population is going to say, hey, I got 3 gas stations in front of me. And since there are 3 gas stations, their value system for all the gas stations is what? It's all the same. Hey, it's gas. Gas is gas, right? There can be particulars and differences, and I want to talk in rules. So in terms of the gas, you're driving down the road. What are most people going to do? They're going to say, hey, since they're all the same commodity, I'm going to go for the cheapest, right? When there's a commodity, they're all the same in the public's opinion, in their perspective, in their mindset, their belief system, they're all the same. And so what are they going to do? They're going to base it on price. And we've done this too. So I'm driving down the road and I look at the gas station, I look at the numbers. Hey, how much is this one? How much is that one? Oh, that one's cheaper. Whoop, pull in there, right? We've all done those kinds of things. Now, in terms of my phone, how many places sell iPhone? Well, there's a whole bunch of stores, right? You can go get it at Costco, Sam's. You can go get it at the AT&T store, the whatever place. So you can buy the iPhone freaking everywhere, right? So you can get the iPhone in a lot of places. And when you can get it in a lot of places, then what are you going to do? You're going to say, hey, is there a place that actually has it cheaper? Can I get a deal? Right? And so that's what stores try to do, is throw in little perks and this and that to incentivize you to buy from them. Okay. So I actually did this. I did this last year to a group. So we're at a boot camp, elite coaching boot camp. And as a part of making a point from commodity to offer, I used this example. And so what I did was I had my phone sitting there and I said, I've got my phone, and let's just assume that all iPhones, or if you're an Android user, say I have an Android in my hand, say all phones are the same, right? And so iPhone, I mean, there's different tiers in terms of memory and things, and I'm not the techie guy, so I mean, whatever. I just want to be able to hold a lot of stuff on it. So I want the one with the most memory. So say, just purely for example, this phone right here has all the stuff, and every other phone out there in terms of iPhone has all the stuff. They're all the same. In terms of memory, they're all the same. And I don't even know how much that costs. I think it's like $1,000 or something crazy. But all phones are the same. So think of that. And if all iPhones are the same and you're going to get your iPhone and they're all $1,000, Where are you going to get it? You're probably going to get it at the place that's most convenient for you. Now, think of this. If there's a whole bunch of stores and they're all selling the same thing, commodity, they're all selling the same thing, but then the guy down the street says, hey, I got an iPhone. I'll sell it to you for $950. Where are you going to go? Well, since they're all the same, you say, I'll go save some cash. He's right down the street. I'll save $50. I'll go get it from him, right? It immediately is a race to the bottom in terms of price point, which is a terrible thing for a commodity, right? And so when it's a race to the bottom, it's, hey, who's willing to cut themselves in terms of their margin the most, right? Which is crazy. I don't want anybody to ever do that. I want you to be able to have the most margins that you want. But the problem is with commodities, in terms of the public's perspective, okay, it's always a race to the bottom. So if I have a whole bunch of iPhones, everybody's selling iPhones, and they're all the exact same, and they're all $1,000, but the guy down the street says, hey, I'll sell mine for $950, where are you going to buy it? There, right? Or Android. If everybody's selling the same Android, and they're all $1,000, and the guy down the street says $950, you're going to get your Android down the street, right? So I said, here's how you take a commodity, a phone, and turn it into an offer. Okay, so I'm doing this at that boot camp, right? And I'm really doing this to prove a point to them. And I'm actually doing it today with you to prove a point of how valuable an offer is. But before I jump into my offer, I want to give you a quote by a famous marketer. Dan Kennedy said, there's no strategic advantage to being the second lowest price in town, but there's huge strategic advantage to being the most expensive, right? So if you're the cheapest, there's strategic advantage with that. If you're the second cheapest, there's none. So you might as well go to the other end of the spectrum, most expensive. And there's actually a way to do that, okay? There's a way to become the most expensive. And like I said, I shared this at that boot camp purely to prove a point, purely as an example. But I want you to be able to, hey, Jason, what's going on, buddy? Glad to have you. And I think Jason was actually there at this boot camp where I'm proving the point, right? Jason, let me know if you were at the boot camp where I'm selling my phone. I think you were there. Actually, I think I did it at both of them. So yeah, for sure. Anyway, so I wanted to be able to turn my phone commodity into an offer. Okay, so I'm at the boot camp and realize at this boot camp, a lot of the doctors, most of the doctors are corrective care chiropractors. And so they do some kind of corrective technique. It's mostly CBP, chiropractic biophysics. Most of those people there are super into and geek out on CBP. And that's great. I love it. It's scientifically backed and all these things, right? It's all great. And so what I did was I said, I'm going to take my phone, and instead of $1,000 and going cheaper, I'm going to turn around, and this is going to be the most expensive. I'm going to sell my phone to you for $2,000. And the crowd's just kind of looking at me. What? That's crazy. Why would I do that? I'm not going to pay for that phone. I said, yeah, I'm going to sell you my phone for $2,000. Not only that, mine's used, but I'm still going to sell it for $2,000. Okay, so here we go. I got my phone. So I want to sell you my used phone. Say you need a phone. I'm going to sell you my phone, and this is kind of the pitch that I gave them. Remember, I'm talking to CBP people, so I want to incentivize with CBP type stuff. Okay, so I say, hey, you need a phone, I got a phone. Instead of $1,000, I'm going to sell it for $2,000. Now, what I've done is I've already taken all my stuff off of it and reformatted it, cleaned it up, so it's out of the box, kind of brand new, so to speak, other than me having it for a year. But here's what I've done is with CBP, there are actually a couple of textbooks with CBP. And what I did was, instead of having to lug around textbooks, I went ahead and uploaded them to your phone, so you actually have quick access to those textbooks anytime you need it. And CBP is actually the most researched technique in chiropractic, and there's over like 200 something research articles, whatever the number is at this point. But what I've done is there's actually an app that I've uploaded onto your phone now, and you have quick access. So if you need to check out any of those research articles, I went ahead and put an app on here and uploaded all 200 plus research articles onto this phone for you. And another cool thing I did was there's also another app called Voxer. And Voxer is kind of like a walkie-talkie for your phone. And what I did was upload Voxer onto this phone for you already. And not only that, but I even put in the contact details for all the CBP instructors. So Jason Miller and Deed and all the guys, right? All their contact info is actually in Voxer, so you can send them a Vox, a little walkie-talkie message whenever you have questions, and they'll get right back to you. And not only that, when I was uploading the contact information and talking to Deed, what I did was he does these week-long certifications for CBP, or he'll do the weekend or week-long or whatever. And what he does is he actually records them. And I went ahead and put all the recordings from all the week-long trainings that he's ever done at his training facility. I went ahead and uploaded all the videos. They're already here on this phone. And when I was actually getting those from Deed, I talked him into giving me a free pass that I was able to upload the confirmation number onto this phone. So when you get this phone, you'll also get if you've already been, you get to go again for a week-long certification. If you've never done it, you have your chance. I think it's like 2,000, 3,000, whatever the number is. I went ahead and uploaded your confirmation number. You've already got your free ticket. You can go to the week-long seminar. Would you like my phone? Right? And so when I do that, what I've done is I've made my phone totally different. You already needed a phone, but I added all these other things surrounding the phone. So even the things that I just added were bigger than the phone. You said, hey, I was going to get a phone anyway. Oh my gosh, I want that one. It's going to give me all these things and make my life easier. I get a free pass to go get certified or recertified. And that's really, really cool. And that's really amazing. So what I did was I am no longer like the competition. My phone is totally different, not better, different than the competition. No other phone out there, no other brand new phone for $1,000 has things that I have on mine. So it's totally different. Price now is out the window. You're comparing apples and oranges. They're totally different, right? Mine has different stuff on it. And so now I've incentivized that person in particular, a very specific person, a CBPer, to get this phone. And I doubled the price. And actually when I did that at the boot camp, I'm doing it and I'm actually recording myself. And so I gave that spiel and it was about, I don't know, I was there. Thanks for your help. Absolutely, man. Yeah, appreciate it. So where was I? Yeah, I was doing that talk and it's about 3 minutes long. And I said, hey, I want my phone. And somebody from the crowd yelled 2,500, which is great. They wanted it, obviously, but it proved and illustrated a very specific point. My phone is different. Price is out the window. I no longer have to compete on price. Nobody else is going to call me and say, hey, how much is an adjustment? And I have to answer in the same way ever again. Ever. So what you want to be able to do is take your product, chiropractic, and turn it into an offer. Okay? So here's how you'll do it is when you sell somebody something, you create problems for them. You say, what? No, I'm solving a problem. They're getting healthy. Right. They are. They're getting healthy. They're creating other problems. Okay. Here's what I mean. They weren't going to the chiropractor, say they come to your office. They've never been to the chiropractor ever before. And then they come to you and they figure out, oh my gosh, my back's all screwed up. I got to come in and get corrective care. And so you give them your care plan and it's great. It's perfect. You're the best doctor on the planet and you're able to help them and change their life and all these things. Here's the problem you create. Now they got to show up to your office 3 times a week for however long. And now they got to buy gas and spend the time and carve out a part of their day when they weren't doing that previously. So what do they have to do? Mentally, they've got to get some shelf space, so to speak, to plug this in. So you create that problem. So a great way to create an offer is when you get that core thing, that corrective package, what problems are you creating for them? And when you figure out what problems you're creating for them, you can solve them with other things that are wrapped around your core offer, right? And so something you could do is say, hey, a part of my care plan is not only do you get the however many visits 3 times a week for a bundle, right? 3 months, whatever it is. You're doing that. And what other things are you creating? Well, now they're thinking about their health. They've never thought about their health ever in their life. Now they're thinking about their health. Oh my gosh, now I've got to start exercising and I got to focus on my nutrition. And so now you're creating problems. They'd say, I don't know anything about that. You said, Here's my core thing. Here's what you're going to get. And not only that, when you get this, you're also going to get my 21-day fast track training when it comes to nutrition and my step-by-step guide to starting to exercise when you've never exercised before and you're able to do it with total ease, right? These videos or something, right? Make it a digital product, so zero fulfillment effort. So you have maybe an ebook or some training videos or interviews with other health experts, right? So you get on a call with Josh Axe or something and talk nutrition, whatever the thing is, interview the thing, record it. Hey, as a part of you getting my core thing, you're also going to get this and this and this and that. Man, I want that. Is your product the same as anybody else's? No, not at all. Yours is totally different now, right? And you said, well, mine's always been different. Well, we'll go through that here in just a moment. So your core thing was your corrective care plan, and you wrapped around the other things. You're solving other problems for them, and now you have an offer. And nobody else in town is doing this. I promise you, there's no other chiropractor in your town doing this, making offers at all. When you make an offer, you can have whatever price you want. Would you like to have whatever price you want? Yes. And now you get to charge. You could literally charge more. You could keep your prices the same, and that's fine. But you look different, and you're actually adding value to their life. You're solving other problems, those future problems that you're creating by your core offer. When you solve those things, man, I'm getting so much value. I'm getting all this stuff. Yeah, I will pay you. I will pay you a premium is what's going to go through their head. Now, if you say, hey, mine's always been different. I do CPP and nobody else in town does. You always want to go back to the perspective of the person you're serving, the person that's in front of you, that you want to say, hey, I want to go through this financial, and you slide your credit card. You want to think what's going through their mind. Do they see it different? They may. They may see it different. So you want to be able to get in their head and say, all right, how are they seeing this? Is every chiropractor the same? Could that be their perspective? It could be their perspective. And if it is, you have to show them, hey, you're getting all of this stuff, right? In terms of the traction and those kinds of things, they're probably going to see those things and think they're weird. I mean, just to be frank and honest, I'm just trying to be transparent with the family here. They're going to think they're different, right? I even hear at boot camps, man, what if they call them these, what do they say? Torture devices or little chambers or something like that. And then there's a way to reframe that. But they're going to see those a little bit different. They're not going to really have the higher value like you will. Well, you know all the research and all the technique. They're not going to see it that way. So bundle other things that they know about. Hey, I know I'm supposed to eat right. I just don't know how to do it. I know I'm supposed to exercise. I just don't really know how to do it. So when you add the things that they know more about to your core offer, to your core product, now you've made an offer. Does that make sense? Comment below if you're watching live, hashtag Team Live. And if you're watching on, I know people will watch this later, this middle of the day that I'm recording this, hashtag Team Replay. If you have any questions of going from product to offer, go ahead and comment below. Let me know if you have any of those questions. But the whole point of this video is I want you to be able to differentiate yourself as a commodity, because they're going to see, hey, the adjustment is the adjustment is the adjustment is the adjustment. Anywhere I go, I just need an adjustment, right? That makes the chiropractic adjustment in their eyes, in terms of a marketing perspective, it makes it a commodity. And when you have a commodity, it's a race to the bottom on price, right? And you don't want to race to the bottom because the joint already sells them cheap. Whatever, like, I don't know if it's $19 or $29, but it's probably cheaper than yours. You don't want to race that. I mean, you're cutting yourself when you do that. So why don't we just add some more value, make an offer out of what we're doing? Hey, you're going to get this care package, but I'm going to surround it with all these things. You have an offer. You've outvalued everyone. You've literally outvalued everyone in your town. And this isn't just chiropractors. You've outvalued other doctors in terms of other specialties. Do you think those doctors are doing anything close to this? I promise you they're not. Not a chance. And even if you mentioned it to them, they say, man, I'm not doing that. That's ridiculous. Is it? Because I just sold the phone for double. I mean, it's really that easy. So if you have any questions on how to make your core bundle package, your care package, an offer, leave your questions below. We'll answer those. And we're going to be going live with different videos. So get excited. Have a great day, guys.